festive, happy heart day, y'all. Kintsugi Koko here. Welcome to my quirky, eclectic vlog. Sorry, I'm adjusting my light here real quick. How are we? How are we? Hope everyone is doing fine and dandy. Enjoying this beautiful day of love. Boop, 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 boop. Today has been such an amazing day. I had so much love in my heart this morning. After pouring into my cup, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go pour into other people's cups. So I went to a food bank, and I was at a food bank for a few hours this morning. And then I went ice skating to pour back into my cup. And then I took my puppy for a walk. And then here we are, after filling up my car, about to go do some more skating with my kiddo. As you can tell, today's been an awesome day. I know, and I'm like looking off to the side. I minimized my screen because today is day 11, master number 11, new beginnings. I may have had a little bit of candy today. That's more than I ever have. Might be a little bit hyper. However, that's okay. Today at the food bank, obviously with it being our African American honoring month. Ooh, pardon. Wow, that was a sneeze. Oh, I'm a loud sneezer. Loud sneezer. That sounds funny. However, that came out even more charactered than I thought. And at the food bank where I was working today, they had some posters up. In the girls' bathroom, they had one about Harriet Tubman. And we love us Harriet Tubman. She was such an inspiring woman that I looked up to so much as a young child. And to this day, man, I love her. And in the break room, my scar itches. In the break room, they had one from Mr. Marcus Garvey. And reading it, I was like, Ashe, 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 I shall say again, Ashe. I was like, yes, that is so true. And to save the suspense, I'm gonna let y'all know what it is, because that is what today's lesson to blessing is going to be about, is absolutely this quote. And the quote from Mr. Marcus Garvey is, a people without knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree with no roots. Y'all, oh my gosh, is this forever true and so deeply true? I lived by what I thought. I lived by what I was told of what my heritage was and what my lineage was and where it came from, right? When I actually did the digging myself, it was so, like, it wasn't wrong, but it was not the truth. It was way beyond the truth. And learning all these different parts about me taught me so much about me and, like, the different quirks and kinks that I have and the things that make me me, that everyone else is like, why are you doing it that way? Why are you doing it this way? Because great-great-great-great-grandmammy did it that way. That's why. You know what I mean? It's so important to dive into your research, and not just because, like, you're fact-checking your family, but look into it, because maybe they don't know. Maybe they weren't told all the information, and they have no clue. For me, gosh, I know I've probably said it before, but I find it so flippin' beautiful, because I am absolutely one of those people that I fit in with everyone and I get along with everyone. I can relate to everyone, and I never understood why not everyone was like that. And it's because I literally am a daughter of every nation. I have ancestors from Asia. I have ancestors from Africa. I have ancestors from Europe. I have ancestors from South America. I have ancestors from right here. So for me, I literally am a daughter of every nation, and I am the accumulation of all of their love stories and their pain and their journeys and their knowledge and what they learned and what they specialized in and what their hobbies were and their passions. Like, how beautiful is that? And now here I am, so beautifully honored to be able to continue their legacies, like all of their different legacies. Man, just going back 12 generations, that's 4,000 grandparents. I got 4,000 angels up there rooting and cheering me on, saying, that's my grandbaby, that's my grandbaby. You know what I'm saying? And when I do things that bring me joy, or I follow like a desire that I can't figure out why I have this pull and this passion, but I follow it and it turns out so incredibly beautiful. I know that's my family pouring into me for taking the chance and just for honoring my passions and my cultures and my lineages and just following it and not questioning it. Like, I wasn't told I was this. Why would I do that? Psh, who cares if you aren't that or not? Why not experience it just to experience it? We are here to live a life, to experience human life. Why just because somebody said, well, that's not us? Who says? Why can't it be you? It's not. For me, one thing that I've absolutely learned, because there is a difference between a culture appropriation and culture appreciation, right? I'm not trying to take somebody else's stuff and say, oh, I came up with this. This is mine. No. Go you guys. That is so, like, every culture I have ever come in contact with and I have ever experienced, man, the beauty, like, the history, the culture, just the ethnicity is just so rich. And how can you deny its astonishing, outstanding beauty and just ignore it? Every culture I've come in contact with, I've never been able to put back down. I always go back and I double dip and I am like, ooh, and even, here's a fun story. 7:27 is a good clock. On my first cruise, we went to the Bahamas and I was super excited. We did like a 3-day stop, or like the 3 port stops, I believe it was. And I believe we were in Freeport. That may be incorrect. It was after Freeport, I think. We went to one of the main stops, and when you got off the ship, there was like a beach not too far after you kind of walk through like the town. There's a beach, and on this beach they had a massage like parlor, and then they had a bar, and like you could order food, and there was a restaurant also across the street, so it was all very close. And I was severely hungover because this is before I learned boundaries. And also it was my first cruise and I got a little overexcited. Or maybe it was our first stop. It was the first stop because that day we started drinking at noon. Girly Pop did not make it to dinner. I was in bed, passed out with my ass out, okay? It was bad. However, not YOLO, because that's so unhealthy. Like, I could have gotten I probably did have alcohol poisoning. I just survived it. Anyway, we go to this place, and I am so nauseatingly hungover. I can't even think about drinking. I can't even get in the water. I'm, like, dying, and I'm just like, I need something in my system. I go to the bar, and I'm like, ugh, I just need something on my stomach. And I'm looking over the menu, and I was like, oh, rice would be perfect. And I'm like, ooh, rice and peas. That sounds good. I was like, I don't know about peas, though. I would rather have, like, beans. Obviously, I've never been to Bahamas, so I don't know what they are. Oh, my gosh. I'm at the bar, and I'm explaining my situation. I'm like, I am so hungover. I really want rice. I was like, but I don't want peas in it. Can you guys do, like, a bean? And they're like, no. You need rice and peas. Then you have to try it with the oxtail. And I was like, oxtail. And obviously, I'm from South Dakota, okay? And we have Rocky Mountain oysters, and I used to love oysters, and somebody tricked me into eating those because I was thinking they were actual oysters. However, they're like, no, you have to try the oxtail. You guys, when I say I sat down and devoured half this dish of food before I even let the other people I was with try it, oh my God, if you've never had rice and peas with oxtail, and I'm not saying get it from anywhere. I mean, obviously, I had it from the homeland. I had it from the Bahamas, which is probably the best flavor. Oh my, it was incredible. And even their chicken, man, their chicken was so freaking good. I can't even begin to describe it. Almost, the chicken in the Bahamas, when they say gator tastes like chicken, because I've had both. And when I'm saying chicken, I'm not talking about American chicken. Gator and chicken from the Bahamas literally are almost identical. The light, the airy, the juice, like it is so beautiful. Tastes so freaking good. The chicken that we have here in America, I could go into a whole freaking spitfire about that, but I'm not going to. When they say gator tastes like chicken, that is what they are saying. Anyway, lo and behold, after doing some research, my family's from the islands, you guys. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. I have that in my blood, and that literally cured my hangover. But it's things like that, like, oh, I don't know, but following the breadcrumbs left by my ancestors led me to the most incredible meal that I'd ever had. I let everyone else try it when I got back to my space, because we had like a group of foldable chairs, like layout chairs. Everyone was tearing that shit up. Everyone was loving it. Ba, 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 ba. Just kidding. We don't condone McDonald's. We don't like McDonald's here. Nothing. A lot against McDonald's, but I like my food with love in it. But knowing your family's history, like I can literally look. I don't even need to know the people. I can look at when you were born, when you got married, how many kids you had, when you died. And that can tell me so much about who you were. Like, I can tell how much lackadaisy my great-grandmother was, because she got married at 14 and then had several kids. And her husband was 45 years old when she got married. So, you know there was some trauma in that. But you can tell that she was very relaxed and chill and, like, not hippie, but like she wasn't very strict and stern because she wanted her children to live a life she wasn't able to live. And in turn, that caused my grandmother to be very stern and very strict because her mother wasn't, you know? And it's like seeing things like that, man, it just tells you so much about who you are, like how you work, your brain, like how you operate, the different kinks and quirks. And, well, why do I think this? Well, that makes sense. Like, that happened there. So, obviously, that's what happened here. Nonetheless, I mean, I could go on way more than 15 minutes about this because I am so deeply passionate about it. And my breadcrumbs could make a whole freaking loaf of bread with some stuffing and maybe like a side of biscuits. Okay, I have followed my breadcrumb trails so thoroughly. And I still have more and more and more to discover. And I am so in love and so enthused and so grateful that I have this opportunity to be able to do what I do. But absolutely, a tree without its roots, man. Can you just imagine, like, no stability, no nourishment being poured into it? Y'all, that's a big one. Knowing those, your ancestors feed you nourishment and love and support constantly because you're their living seventh generation that they've been praying for. Why would they not pour into you while you're here in the real world? Like, while you're experiencing this life? And without those roots, man, people don't feel connected. They feel depleted. They feel unloved. They feel left out. Man, I remember those days for me until I discovered all this information about myself. And then I'm like, ah. Nonetheless, happy Heart Day from the bottom of my heart to y'all's. I love y'all big much from me and all my ancestors, my anchor stars, if you will. That's what I like to call them. because if you kind of break down the word ancestor, it kind of sounds like anchor stars. But I love y'all big much, and I will see y'all tomorrow.